Most people come to Mallorca for the beaches. Frank left appreciating everything that had to happen before those beaches could even exist. Millions of tourists flock to Mallorca every year to enjoy its serene coves, lush orchards, friendly locals, and tall, breathtaking mountains. While nearly every vacationer beelines it to the beach to work on their tan and sangria drinking skills, what would a tourist find if they were curious about how the island formed? Let's follow a fictional island visitor on his quest to read the story of Mallorca as it's written in the rocks. For fun, we'll call him Frank. Yeah, Frank. What our new friend Frank will soon discover is that the story of Mallorca's past could not be more different than the island tourists visit today. Mallorca is a small island in the Mediterranean off the east coast of Spain. Although it's only the size of roughly Rhode Island, this tiny island will provide our very unusual vacationer Frank with the best holiday that he could ask for. You see, Frank planned a very special road trip. He'll visit the places that preserve Mallorca's greatest geologic chapters, beginning with the oldest rocks and ending in the landscape that we see today. After his plane lands in the morning, our fledgling geologist grabs his very overpriced rental car and drives to the small beach Playa de Hort de Sacova. Let's remember that they speak Catalan on the island, and I barely speak Spanish, so forgive my pronunciation. This coastal cliff is nestled at the northern end of the Serra de Tramuntana, which is a mountain range guarding the northern coast of the island. The sample that Frank finds is a dark ashen gray and really smooth to the touch, and it reminds him of the slate tiles in his kitchen at home. What he's holding is a metapelite, which is like a mudstone or siltstone that's been squished slightly, resulting in slight changes to the rock. The thing that squished these rocks was the Variscan mountain building event, which helped build the supercontinent Pangea. More on that later. Frank relates to the rock since he himself has been under a lot of pressure at work lately and wonders how he's going to change as a result. To find a rock from the next chapter of Mallorca's story, he drives over to Cala Estalinx, which is also located along the northern coast of the island. This outcrop is easy to spot because it's one of the most unique colors of any of the rocks that Frank will see today. It's a dreamy purple and pastel red sandstone that's about 250 million years old. And Frank is also delighted to discover the locals' nickname for the rock, Padres des Molar, so called because the rock's been used as sharpening stones for millennia, and this gritty sandstone rock is perfect for such a purpose. Because Frank only had a cappuccino on the airplane, he decides to stop for lunch in Banyalbufar, where he finds an especially gregarious waiter explaining that a recent discovery was made in the area. A new species of herbivorous reptile was found. Frank searches for a picture of this extinct cutie pie and realizes that this four-legged lizard was waddling around Pangea, which meant that Mallorca used to be part of Pangea. And you can actually see it here. It's kind of nestled just on the inside of the continent. And all of that sandstone that he had seen, those had been part of river systems in the equatorial region of an extinct supercontinent. And as Frank is munching on his lunch of olives, bread, and fish, he realizes that the entire town is surrounded by little cliffs and crags of gray limestone just peeking out of the hills. After Pangea broke up, the ancient Tethys Sea took its place. This now extinct ocean was home to tropical reefs which ended up building kilometers of limestone, which Frank was staring at today. And given that Tethys was the mother of river gods and oceanids, she was the perfect namesake for this ancient, now extinct, ocean. Frank decides to drive to one more stop, across the island to Far des Camps Salinas. Don't come at me for how I pronounce that, I know it's terrible. Where he wanted to watch the sunset. His little car putt-putts up and over the Serra de Tramuntana, when suddenly he passed a sign reading, "Caution, Africa colliding with Europe." So to get more information, he turned on the radio, and a strange geophysics radio show started blaring over the speakers.
Long after Pangea broke up, Africa started easing its way towards Europe. In the process, slabs of limestone were folded and thrust upwards. The oceanic crust that was sinking under the continent broke off and plunged into the ooey-gooey mantle, wreaking havoc at the surface. As the slab detached, it stretched the rocks of Mallorca out, creating large blocks of rock to drop down, creating the valleys between the mountains that we see today.
Wow, thought Frank. How convenient that that radio show happened to be on at that very moment so he could hear that geophysicist. After about an hour of driving, Frank parked near a lighthouse at Fardes Camp Salinas, grabbed his bottle of sangria, some bread, and some ham, and walked out to the cliffside overlooking the Mediterranean just as the sun was setting. He walked by an interpretive sign that explained that the limestone that he was standing on was thanks to countless coral reefs yet again producing more limestone on the island, not long after the mountains he had just driven over were formed. And as he sat down, he imagined seeing the same view but without water, which was actually the reality of the island about 5.5 million years prior during the Messinian salinity crisis. Thanks to the finicky Mediterranean Atlantic Strait closing up, the sea dried up to the point where mammals could walk from mainland Europe to Mallorca or other Mediterranean islands. That means that Frank could have been sitting next to a Balearic Island cave goat if the Atlantic waters had not flooded back in or if the goat had not gone and gotten itself extinct. Frank looked out across the Mediterranean. The mountains behind him had once been coral reefs. The beaches below him had been built grain by grain through millions of years of erosion. And even the sea before him had disappeared and returned. And tomorrow morning, thousands of tourists would spread their towels out across the beach without ever wondering how the beach had ever come to be. And Frank smiled at this because he couldn't wait to lay his towel down next to an unassuming tanning tourist and explain everything he just learned about this gorgeous island. I'm the Cosmic Geologist, and I help you see how planetary science is hidden in everyday life. So if you liked this story, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.